السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All the praises to Allah. We praise Him and seek His aid and ask His forgiveness. May the peace and blessings and exalt and mention be upon His slave and messenger Muhammad, His house of kin, His companions, and all who follow them exactly until the day of judgment. The author said, may Allah forgive his sins and the ones present. Still loading. نعم الآن today inshallah we take the subject. قال المؤلف غفر الله له ذنوبه والحاضرين. The subject of this science. We finished the definition in the previous class, and we said that الصرف هو الصرف is changing the source into different forms. Why? In order to express different meanings. Which aren't expressed except through their own forms. Yeah? And we, inshallah, explained that thoroughly. Alhamdulillah. From the definition, we can understand the subject. This is general. Anything, the definition of anything, any technical term, you understand from it, or the definition of the name which is given to the science, you can understand from it what? You can understand from it the subject. Now, subject al-mawdu'. Al-mawdu' means the subject. Of sarf is the study of the Arabic word before being in a sentence. Why? Because it deals with the word individually. It deals with the words individually. Okay? And since it deals with the words individually, then it is obvious that it studies the words before being placed into sentences. If we say the subject of sarf is the Arabic words, is that sufficient as a definition? Okay, we say here it is not sufficient because there are other Arabic sciences that have to do with the study of the Arabic words also. Yani, sarf is not the only science which deals with words. There are also other Arabic sciences which deal with words, such as an-nahu, which is grammar. So we have to, this is why we said the definitions are very precise. The definitions which are placed by our noble scholars. The second half of the definition before being in a sentence. This excludes, this description or this attribute excludes, or this specification excludes an-nahu from the definition, because an-nahu is a study of the Arabic words after being put into the sentences. Here inshallah, you can read by yourself inshallah, because we didn't explain that in Tasrif al-Izzi. Okay? Okay, but the important thing here mm, is to say that the study of words when they are in sentences is the subject of nahu and not the subject of sarf. Sarf speaks about all parts of the word, yani the beginning of the word, the middle, and the end. But it only speaks about the end from aspects other than, yani from certain aspects. Okay? Sarf focuses mostly on the changes that occur in the beginning and middle of the word. So when you know its subject, you won't fall into a mistake during studying the science because of worrying what the end of the word takes. What haraka does the end of the word take? Don't worry about that much in as-sarf. Rather, let your focus be on the state of the first, of the beginning of the word and the middle. This is clear? Because usually, yani, or mostly, the end of the word is the subject or the center of study in Nahu. In Nahu, the center of study in Nahu is the end of the word. Okay? From a certain angle. Is only the end of the word from a certain angle. Whereas the center of study in Sarf is all parts of the word, but especially the first, the beginning and the middle. And if it, yes, it does speak about the end, but yani from a narrow aspect. Okay? Yani not mostly. Mostly it deals with the beginning and the end. Okay? Sorry, the beginning and the middle. The benefit of the science. So this is the third aspect. The first aspect is the definition. The second aspect is the subject. What is the subject of the science? The third is the benefit of the science. Now, what benefit does this science give you? Everyone has a goal and a reason behind doing anything otherwise. What he is doing will only be a waste of time. Why are you studying Arabic in general and Sarf in particular? And what benefit will you get from it? Firstly and most importantly, you want to understand the word of Allah and the word of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A correct understanding. This is very important, this part here. A correct understanding. It's not just a mere understanding, but it is a correct one. This science and all Arabic sciences lead you to understanding correctly the word of Allah and the word of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The scholars have agreed that missing the Arabic sciences will lead you to go astray in understanding the word of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No matter how much you read, no matter how much you know of this religion, if you don't know the Arabic language, you will not be able to understand it correctly as the scholars of Islam understood it. Okay? And thus you will be just a person who has a fair amount of information, Islamic information, but not one who could thoroughly look into the word of Allah, ponder on it, and derive from it the benefits and the different rulings. No, that you can never reach to except by the Arabic language. That's why the scholars made those Arabic sciences a condition to ijtihad. And ijtihad is the level where one can investigate in the Quran and the Sunnah. Otherwise, no one, by the unanimous agreement of the scholars, no one is allowed. It is not permissible for someone to speak on or to investigate in the Quran and the Sunnah and derive the rulings from it except after seeking those sciences. This is an ijma'. And what do we mean by an ijma'? It means a unanimous agreement. And when it's a unanimous agreement, no one can say otherwise. When it's an unanimous agreement, no one can say otherwise. Yani it's unnegotiable. The doors are closed. Okay? Full stop. It is over with. واضح? It is خلاص. It's laid on the table. No one can change it. No one has a say after the scholars of Islam have agreed. واضح بارك الله فيكم. نعم. And what is considered very strange today and very very weird and odd that you find people who are actually claiming, and some of them do it openly, that they don't need the Quran, the Arabic sciences to understand the Quran and the Sunnah. عجيب. هذا عجيب. هذا غريب. واضح بارك الله فيكم. So, because the Quran, why? Because the Quran, here comes the reason. Because the Quran was revealed in the Arabic language. And the Prophet ﷺ and every prophet was sent with the language of his people. And there is no way, therefore there is no way to understand the Quran and the Sunnah correctly except after mastering this language, especially after you have just witnessed the different forms that express different meanings. If you don't know what form gives what meaning, how on earth, tell me, would you understand the Quran and the Sunnah correctly? It's impossible. واضح بارك الله فيكم. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Yusuf, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, which is in Surah Yusuf, Surah number 12, verse number 2. Verily we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran. Why? In order that you may understand. So, you can never get to understand the Quran until you understand the language. This is the saying of Allah. No one has another saying after the saying of Allah and His Messenger and what? And the ijma' of the scholars. Bismillah. Surah number 12, verse number 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, this is the first benefit, and this is the main benefit, and this should be the benefit you are after. This should be the benefit you are after. Yes, if you just want the second, it's permissible. If you just want the second benefit, it is permissible. But you won't get a reward if you just want this, if you're just after the second. If you're just after the second, there's no reward. Okay? Because you fixing or preventing yourself from falling into errors when speaking, and you wishing to just speak the language, to interact with others, well, this is a worldly benefit, which does not have a reward in the akhirah. Okay? So, and obviously, you will avoid falling into errors when speaking with others in this language, but this benefit shouldn't be your aim. Your first aim should be the first, for it is the benefit that would bring about the fruits in the hereafter. واضح وعليكم السلام. The fourth concept is the merit of the science. Its merit comes from what it leads to, of being a key to understanding the best of words. And what a great merit that is. The word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this is its merit. Number 5, the position it takes or where it stands from other sciences. The position of Sarf is that it is one of the Arabic sciences which reach up to 12 in number. 12 sciences. That's right, 12. 1, 2. That's right. There's no dot here. It's not 1.5. Rather, it is 12. واضح? But inshallah, the most important are 3. Most important and sufficient to understand correctly Quran and the Sunnah are 3, which are Sarf, and Nahu, and Balagha. Sarf, Nahu, and Balagha. Sarf is morphology, Nahu is grammar, Balagha is eloquency, in other words, beauty of speech, or power of speech. يعني how The 12. The 12, inshallah, in future levels, inshallah, we will get to know them, inshallah. The inventor of the science. The inventor, al-wadi', the inventor of Sarf is Mu'adh. Anyone else witnessing echoing? So you have Sister Shabana, you have to, inshallah, try to log out and in again, inshallah. طيب, the inventor, al-wadi' of Sarf was Mu'adh ibn Muslim al-Harra. Mu'adh ibn Muslim al-Harra, the student of Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali, the inventor of Nahu. The name of the science is As-Sarf or At-Tasrif. You can say As-Sarf or At-Tasrif. As-Sarf or At-Tasrif. The source of the science, from where is it derived? From the words of the Arabs, from the Arabic language. No, they are the same. According to the late scholars, they are the same. You already memorized this name. You already memorize it. Just by knowing it now, inshallah, you have it memorized. The ruling of the science, and knowing the ruling al-hukm is one of the most important. But inshallah, as-sarf is enough. If you know as-sarf, it's enough, inshallah. It's enough. If you can't remember the other one, it's okay. واضح? If you know just the word sarf, that is sufficient, inshallah. Now, knowing the ruling al-hukm, this is also one of the most important things, because from this point comes the reward from studying this knowledge. For if you were studying just to speak Arabic, then the disbelievers can join you in the same cause. Isn't that so, brothers and sisters? Because we have a huge number of disbelievers learning this language just to speak with others, especially those al-mustashriqun. The non-believers who study our religion. That's what they call them. طيب, jazakallahu khairan. Orientalists. First time I hear that, but inshallah, jazakallahu khairan. So they study, of course, they study the religion to destroy it. Okay? So, they study this. They study the language to know, to gain knowledge and understanding the texts, the Arabic texts. Okay, and they're very, very studious in that. And if you get to know that, then every one of us should be ashamed, as we should be more studious than those who learn this language to destroy it. So we in turn should do more and should do better in order to protect this language. Barakallahu fikum. Now, but as a believer, when you set your intention on learning this language to understand the book of your Lord and the sunnah of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, only then will you get rewarded. Learning these sciences is obligatory upon a group, causing sufficiency. That means it is not obligatory upon every individual, except the extent which makes him able to read the Quran correctly in prayer. Otherwise, it is not obligatory upon each and every individual, meaning sufficing others in teaching this language. Then the issues of this science. Teaching is obligatory also upon a group, not upon everyone. واضح? No. Knowing the issues, المسائل, means knowing its principles, which you shall study, inshallah, which shall come. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Here we go now. Okay. Types of words. Types of time frames. There are only 3 parts or types of words, أقسام الكلمة. Titled أقسام الكلمة. Kalima. Notice here, we are pronouncing the ta as a ha because we stopped at it, or we ended with it. أقسام الكلمة. Okay? أقسام الكلمة means types of words. In the Arabic language, there are 3 types of words. That's it. Just 3 types. واضح؟ الاسم. الاسم. الاسم, and the plural is al-asma. So the singular is al-ism. That's how to say it. Al-ism. Ali, li. Al-ism. Don't say al-ism. Huh? Rather, al-ism. واضح? And just like saying Alice. Alice, but with an M at the end. واضح؟ وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. خير إن شاء الله. Okay, so Alice. That's it. الاسم. واضح بارك الله فيكم. And the plural is الأسماء. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها. So it is a word. What is al-ism? Al-ism, of course, the technical English word for it, which is close to its meaning and not identical, is the noun. Is the noun. واضح? So that's what al-ism is basically. It is a word that only, يعني, how to best define in Arabic al-ism. It is a word that only gives a meaning. يعني, it only gives you one single benefit, which is the meaning. That's it. So that's all what al-ism is. It gives you by itself. It gives you by itself. يعني, by merely reading it. يعني, it does not need the aid of another word to clarify its meaning. By itself, it clarifies its meaning. The minute you read it, the meaning is apparent to you. واضح? So if I say, for example, Shams. Shams. Do you know, does a meaning, يعني, come to your mind? Shams? Yes, the sun. Okay? So this meaning, where did we get it from? Yani by the word itself. The word itself expressed its meaning by its own, not with the aid of another word. Okay? So it is a word which only gives one thing, single thing, which is a meaning. It can be, this meaning can be something physical, alive, not alive, or it can be something mental. Some examples are Shamsun, yani a sun. Khalid, which is a man's name. Ilm. Shams, Khalid, Ilm. Yes, Ilm is mental. Shams, Khalid, Ilm. Shams, Khalid, Ilm. Okay? This is the al-ism, which the term noun is close to. Okay? Then we have al-fi'l. Now the difference here, al-fi'l. Al-fi'lu. الفعل الفعل الفعل, and the plural is الأفعال الأفعال الأفعال. It is a word which gives a meaning plus something else. Remember now, we just said that al-ism or al-ism gives just a meaning, right? Just one single thing. One single thing. Now, al-fi'l, over giving the meaning, there is something else it gives. Besides the meaning, yani over the meaning, it also gives something else. Yes, points out to 2 things. Ahsanti. It points out to both the meaning and a specific time frame where that meaning takes place. Where that meaning takes place. واضح? Then you're probably experiencing some technical problems there. Now try to update Flash. So it is a word which points out both the meaning and a certain time frame where that meaning took place. واضح. Some examples are ضرب. Okay, ضرب. Just like شرب. شرب. Anyone here remembers what it means? شرب. 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 He drank. Good. Okay. So he drank. He drank. He drank. He hit. ضرب is he hit. Now ضرب, which is he hit, okay, it gives two things. It gives you two things. It gives you the meaning which is hitting. And shariba gives you a meaning which is drinking. Okay? But is that meaning which it gave you, or which it has given you, is it released from any, or is it unrestricted to any time frame? No, it is. Okay? Yani it is restricted to a certain time frame. And this is the second benefit this word gives you, which is al-fi'l. Any fi'l. Any fi'l. Yani any, al-fi'l, of course, the technical word for it in English, which is close to it, is the verb. The verb. Okay? So basically, the verb, in general, any verb, the verb gives you a meaning, this is number one, and it gives you also a certain time frame where this meaning took place. واضح بارك الله فيكم. أكل. Yes, even future. أكل. أكل, he ate. He ate. It gives the meaning of eating plus it taking place in the past tense. واضح? This is basically what al-fi'l is. Clear, people? Barakallahu fikum. Yes, any kind of fi'l, any kind of verb is called fi'l. Alright? Okay, then we have al-harf. 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 Al-harfu. The plural is al-huruf. 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 It is a word that points out a meaning, but not by itself. Not like al-ism, not like al-fi'l, not like al-ism, not like al-fi'l, not like al-ism, not like al-fi'l. The thing with this, with al-ism and al-fi'l, okay, is that it gives its meaning by itself, and it does not need the help of another. Okay, so the ism gives its meaning by itself. I don't need nobody's help. By myself, I give my own meaning. Okay? Same thing, the fi'l says the same thing. He says, yes, me too. And on top of me giving the meaning, or the meaning by myself, I also give a certain time frame. So I'm a bit more complicated than you, than al-ism, yani, than al-ism. Okay? Al-harf here, he says, yes, but the case with me is different. I give out my meaning, but my meaning only becomes clear when another word is mentioned with me. Okay? Yes, so it needs the support, yes, good, the support of another word to magnify or to show its meaning. It does not show its meaning by itself, but its meaning only appears in another word. Min. The meaning is not clear when it's by itself. Okay? But when adding the word al-bayt, okay, the house, which means al-house, al-house, which means the house, al-bayt, 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 al-bayt. We have min al-bayti. Here we added the word min to the word al-bayt. Min al-bayti. It means from the house. So when we added this word, the house, to min, Now min expresses what? Huh? Expresses what? Yani expresses something being inside another. نعم عفوا something sorry, it expresses the beginning of the destination. The beginning of the destination. واضح? Min, that's what min means, the beginning of destination. Okay? Min al-bayti, but can there be a beginning of a destination? Huh? Or can that meaning become clear without a destination? Huh? Which is al-bayt? No, it cannot. So al-bayt, which is the house, in it or through it, the meaning of the word min was shown. Was shown. Understood? Barakallahu fikum. So min al-bayt means from the house. Okay? From the house. Which pinpoints the meaning min serves. Fi. Fi means, okay, fi, it has a meaning. See, when we say it does not give a meaning by itself, we're not saying it does not have a meaning. No, we're saying it has a meaning. But the meaning only shows by the aid of another word. Okay? Yani not by itself. Okay? Now fi, fi means in. Something being inside another. واضح? Now this meaning, if you say fi alone, okay, this meaning, which is something being inside another, cannot be imagined just by fi alone, until you mention what is the thing that has something inside. واضح? So here, if you say al-Madina, 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 notice we ended with a ha, although the end is a ta, because of what we have mentioned before. Al-Madina, nah. Al-Madina, the city. So when we add those two together, when we add al-Madina to fi, fil Madina, fil Madina, fil Madina, now the meaning of fi became clear to you. That's that thing which is considered a place where there's something inside it is al-Madina. Okay? So this pinpoints the meaning. واضح barakallahu fikum. Here it says in the footnote, it is important that we define it as taking place in a specific or particular time, because there are some asma that give a meaning of time. Now this is a very important issue. This is a very important issue. And here we're talking about what? We're talking about, where is it? About الفعل, where? Ah, there, yes. So here, this footnote is regarding this point over here. الفعل. Listen, there's an important issue here. Okay? Listen, this footnote is very important. It's extremely important. Okay? Because even, barakallahu fikum, we have witnessed a lot of students, or a lot of even a lot of Arabic students. I'm not talking about non-Arab students, but I'm even talking about Arab students. A lot of them, they fall into this mistake, or they could not differentiate between those two things. What two things? See, listen here. You have to pay attention, inshallah. Here it says it is important that we define it as taking place. Define it, al-fi'l, meaning al-fi'l. Define it as taking place in a specific or particular time. Okay? Because there are some asma. What is asma? It is the plural of what? Good. It is the plural of al-ism. Good. Okay? Some asma. There are some asma that give a meaning of a time. A meaning of a time. Okay? Not be not the meaning being restricted to a time frame. No, no. The very word itself, or the very meaning of the word itself, is at a certain time. Is a certain time. Okay? And this is like al-ghurub. Al-ghurub. Okay? Now al-ghurub, is it an ism or a fi'l? We say it is an ism. Okay? One might say, no, al-ghurub is a fi'l because you told us that if the word gave a meaning plus a certain time frame, then it is a fi'l. So we say, no, habibi. Here, al-ghurub is not restricted to a certain time frame. Okay? But here, the very meaning of al-ghurub is a certain time. The meaning of it is a certain time without specifying when is this time. Okay? Because al-ghurub is sunset. And that is a moment. Okay? That is a moment, the moment where the sun sets. Okay? And this occurs every day. If I say the name ghurub, okay, do you understand that this sunset was yesterday or today or tomorrow? Huh? Yani, when I say ghurub, do you understand specifically the sunset which happened yesterday? No. Do you understand specifically that it is the sunset which happened today? No. Do you understand specifically that it is the sunset which is going to happen tomorrow? No. Rather, that time itself is called al-ghurub. So it only gives it only gives one thing. It only gives a meaning, which is the time itself. Some people confuse, yes, exactly. Ghurub is an ism. Some people confuse the names which are given to times with the verbs. Because the verbs specify a certain time frame, right? So when some people read names that are given to times, they confuse it with the verb. Be careful, don't fall into that. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't fall into that. Okay? And a clear example is al-an. Al-an. Okay? Al-an. Al-an means now. It means the relevant, it means the time of speech. Time of speech. Okay? It means the moment of speech. Al-an means now. Now, is al-an al-fi'l? Is al-an a fi'l? Or an ism? Who says al-fi'l? Who says an ism? No. Okay. It is an ism, no doubt. You might say, why couldn't it be a fi'l? No, regardless of al. We want to understand from the meaning, not from the signs, not from the physical signs, but from the meaning. Now we say, someone might say, why not al-fi'l? Isn't now, okay, yani, yes, the present time. So we said, when we defined al-ism, what did we say? Oh, sorry. When we defined al-fi'l, pardon me, what did we say? We said al-fi'l, see, focus on the definition. This is why I told you the definitions are the most important. Yes, exactly. Time plus meaning. Or let's say meaning plus time. Meaning plus certain time frame. Now, al-an, what does it mean? Does it mean something? Does it give a meaning? Huh? What meaning does it give? Now, okay, over the meaning, did it give a certain time frame where the now happened? No. واضح؟ يعني now, okay. I'll give you an example. Now, when someone says, okay, when someone reads in a book, When someone reads in a book that someone else said al-an, said now. Is this the now of your time of reading, or of his time of speech? Huh? His time of speech, واضح? It's not the now of it now. So now gave a meaning which is the present time. I repeat. So someone, for example, الآن حصحص الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه وإنه لمن الصادقين ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين. الآن حصحص الحق. الآن حصحص الحق أنا راودته عن نفسه. Which is Surah number 12, verse number 51. Verse number 51. Now you're reading, right? You're reading this verse, right? It says, now the truth is manifest. Now the truth. Which now? Now the time of your reading? The time of your reading? Or the time of her speech when she said it? So you see, this word gave a meaning which is the time of speech, but did not specify. And it did not specify it to a certain time frame, to a past or present or future. واضح بارك الله فيكم. Clear? نعم. But this is different when you say أشرب. أشرب means I drink. أشرب means I drink. Go ahead. I drink. This gives us a meaning. What's the meaning? No, just the meaning. Very good. The meaning of drinking, right? I drink. أشرب, which means I drink. It gives us the meaning of drinking. Okay. When did this drinking take place? Is this the same as the word now? الآن? What meanings or what the فعل أشرب, I drink, pointed out to? Is it the same as what the word الآن pointed out to? واضح? Clear? Is this clear? Is it clear the difference now? Is it clear? But still, it is given time and meaning, even in how the person says it. It does not give time and meaning. It gives the meaning which is the time. Understood? When you say it gives time and meaning, you're saying it gives two things. It doesn't give two things. It gives only one thing, which is the time itself. So its very meaning is the time itself. Understand? Yes, exactly. Now is the time frame itself. Okay? It's not a meaning which was done in a certain time. No, it is the time itself. Understood? It is the word which expresses the time itself. It doesn't express something which happened in a time. No, it expresses the time itself. Understand? Okay. To better understand this, go back to the definition of al-ism. Now, al-ism here, what's the definition of it? It is a word that only gives a meaning. Okay? It is a word which only gives a meaning. Okay? Then, here, this is the most important part to understand this issue. It says here, it can be something physical, and it can be something mental. Okay? Okay, something mental. Isn't the example to something mental a time? Huh? Huh? Got the question? Isn't an example to something, see? Yes. And it's not something, yani it's not something physical, yani. The time frame is not, the time is not something physical, yani. It is not something, yes, it's not something sensed. It's something known. Something known. Future is something known. Past something known. Present something known. واضح? Yes, exactly. Mentally visualized. Okay? So, al-ism, it could be a physical thing, like paper, like human, like jinn, like sun, like Khalid. And it could be something mental, like what? Like ilm, like time, like past, present, future. Get it? See? Yeah, very good. Later. Okay, now. See the difference? But الفعل exactly. Exactly. الآن is a type of ism. واضح? Okay. Exactly. Exactly. طيب. Okay. Now this we have not taken, so we'll skip this one, inshallah, and all of this, because it's not, inshallah, important because we did not take it anyways. Now we go to this point, which is a major principle. Now throughout our studies, we will come back to one very important principle of the Arabic language, time and time again. And that is this principle is called التماس الخفة. التماس الخفة. التماس الخفة. فه. Again, we say the ha, remember? Because there's a ta, and we stop that in. التماس الخفة, which means seeking lightness in speech. This is a major principle in the Arabic sciences. Seeking lightness in speech, making the speech nice, simple, easy on the tongue. Seeking lightness in speech. The more letters a word contains, the less the word is used in the Arabic language. The more letters a word contains, the less that word is used in Arabic language. Okay? And this takes us to a very important point, that the most words spoken are 3 letters, because they are of less letters. And whatever is of less letters is more spoken. And vice versa. Whatever is of more letters is less spoken. Because speaking the 3-letter word is easier than speaking the what? The 4, 5, 6 letter. Okay. Which is more in the Arabic language? Words of 3 letters or words of 4 letters? Oh, 3 letters. Okay. Which is more in the Arabic language? Words of 5 letters or words of 4 letters? 4 letters. Good. Which is more in the Arabic language? Words of 6 letters or words of 5 letters? 5 letters. Which is more in the Arabic language? Words of 6 or 5? Words of 7 or 6? 6, etc. So the more letters there are, the less it is used. Okay? This is the, and this is not, this principle does not just cover the number of letters. It also covers, it also is it also includes the the harakat used. Sometimes placing a haraka on a certain letter is heavy. Sometimes having more than 3 harakat in a row is heavy. Okay. Sometimes moving from a certain haraka to another certain haraka is heavy. So you're going to come across this principle a lot. Okay, so you have to, inshallah, keep it in your mind that the major principle is iltimas al-khiffa, and because they seek lightness in speech, they have certain principles to make the speech lighter. واضح? To avoid having the speech heavier. واضح barakallahu fikum? So the more letters a word contains, the less that word is used in the Arabic language. Whatever words are lighter are used more in the Arabic language, while whatever words are heavy are used less in the Arabic language. Remembering this principle will make it easier for the students to understand the issues of the science of Sarf, inshaAllah ta'ala. Now, students will come to learn many general principles of the Arabic language, but sometimes there are exceptions. Sometimes there are exceptions. And this is just how it is with any principle regarding any field of science. There are exceptions to a lot of principles. In fact, most principles have exceptions. واضح barakallahu fikum? So if the Arabs go against their own principle, it has to be for a benefit considered or a condition added. Okay, because sometimes we're going to mention a principle, right? Okay, and we're going to say, for example, this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be spoken. But sometimes you find the same description available, which should allow you to apply the principle, but although in some cases it is not applied. So here you say, why did they speak it this way? Why didn't they speak it that way, since the principle is this? We say here they have exceptions. Okay, and these exceptions are usually sought or usually followed for a benefit, for an extra benefit. Okay, for a reason. For a reason. Okay, or a condition. Now, what did we say the verb is again? Yalla. Enlighten me, please, with what we said the verb was. A meaning that is connected to a specific time frame. Good. Okay? All right. Now we're going to take, what are the time frames? What are the time frames? Okay. So there are only 3 time frames in the Arabic sciences. Meaning, and this is even in reality, there's only 3. There's only 3 in reality. And the proof to this is the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The proof to this from the Quran, if you want, as an extra benefit, is the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَهُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِينَا وَمَا خَلْفَنَا وَمَا بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ وَمَا كَانَ رَبُّكَ نَسِيًّا رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا فَاعْبُدْهُ وَاصْطَبِرْ لِعِبَادَتِهِ هَلْ تَعْلَمُ لَهُ سَمِيًّا. This is Surah Maryam, which is Surah number 19. Surah number 19, verse number 64. وما نتنزل إلا بأمر ربك له ما بين أيدينا وما خلفنا وما بين ذلك. To him belongs what is before us and what is behind us and what is between those two, which is the current time. واضح? So this verse is proof of the 3 times, of the 3 time frames. واضح barakallahu fikum? Okay. If you're asked, If you are asked, what are the times? You say, الأزمنة ثلاثة. يعني the times are three. الأزمنة ثلاثة. The times are three. Okay? The times are three. That's how to say it in Arabic. الأزمنة ثلاثة. Okay? Now pay attention. الأزمنة means the times. ثلاثة means three. Now pay attention to this issue here. This will make you better understand the issue that we have just explained regarding al-ism and al-an and al-ghurub, remember? Okay, so this will help you understand it better, inshallah. Okay, now the past is called, see, barakallahu feekum, be careful with the words here. Did I say the past verb? Huh? No, I said the past. And I'm talking about the past time, the past tense. I'm not talking about the verb here. I didn't say the verbs are three. Be careful. I said the times are three. الأزمنة الثلاثة. Here I will say the verbs are three. Yes, in general. نعم. واضح? So the times are three. And the past is called in Arabic al-madi. الماضي 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 الماضي. Okay, so الماضي is what is the past verb, right? Good. The past time. Be careful. Differentiate between the two, between the past verb and the past time. Okay, the present time is called الحال. 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 Okay, that's the present time. Time. Not verb. Not yet. The future is called المستقبل. 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 Okay, that's the future. Now, if you are asked about al-af'al, يعني the verbs, you say al-af'alu thalatha. Now pay attention here. Pay attention here. If you're asked about the verbs, what are the verbs? You say also the verbs are three. Okay? See, let me break it down for you. Okay? There is a verb which restricts to this time frame, and another verb which restricts to this time frame, and another type. طيب جزاك الله خير. I forgot to set the time before setting the class. جزاكم الله خير. طيب. And there's another type of verb which restricts to this time frame. Please pay attention. And there's another type of verb which restricts to this time frame. Now each verb which restricts to each time frame has its own name as well. Has its own name as well. Okay? All right. Now, because you can write this down because this is beneficial for you to understand. Because the times are, subhanallah, you just asked. Because the times are three, this resulted into the verbs being three. Understood? Because the times are three, this resulted into the verbs being three. واضح? So there's a verb which gives the past time, which restricts to the past time frame, and there's a verb which restricts to the present time frame, and there's a verb which restricts to the future time frame, and each has its name as well. Now, the verbs are three. I'll repeat, inshallah. I'll repeat. Wa alaikum assalam. Now, there's a type of verb we're going to mention it inshallah, which points out a meaning plus what? The past time frame. And there's another type of verb which points out to a meaning plus the present time frame. And there's another type of verb which points out a meaning plus the future time frame. So each one of those types which we have mentioned has what? Has a name, which we will mention now. Understood? Or again? Each, because the times are 3, this resulted into the verbs being 3. Into the verbs being 3. واضح؟ بارك الله فيكم. أيوة. Now, the verbs are 3. Let's see now. Al-Madi. This is the first type of verb. Now you notice here there are 2 terms giving different meanings. 2 terms giving different meanings. Same term. See, Al-Madi is a name of a verb just as it is a name of a what? Of a time. Good. Okay? So, يعني, this term has multiple meanings. Because these 3 are linguistic meanings and these are technical. Understand? Because here our point of our center of study here, are we studying the times or are we studying the words? We're studying the words. So these names are linguistic, but these are technical. Understood? Yes. Okay. Al-Mad, again. These, Al-Madi. Al-Madi, this is not a technical meaning, by the way. This is a linguistic meaning. Al-Madi means the past linguistically. Okay? Al-Hal means the present linguistically. Al-Mustaqbal means the future linguistically. Yes, lughawi. But this is technical. Okay? But these terms are used in this science. Yani it is used. Okay? These terms are used, both the linguistic terms and the technical ones. Yes, but the ones which are used mostly are those. Okay? Are the names of verbs, not the names of times. Because center of study here are the words, not the meanings. Okay? إنام. طيب. So if you are asked about al-af'al, you say al-af'alu thalatha. So the first type of verb, what's it called? What's it called? Al-Madi. Okay. Is this the technical meaning of Al-Madi or the linguistic? Technical. What is the linguistic meaning of Al-Madi? The past time. Not just time. Don't write just time. It's the past time. It's a certain time. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. واضح? Okay. Now, an example. So, a word, see, that expresses an act that happened in the past. يعني, see. Okay? Listen. A word that expresses an act that happened in the Madi. Get it? Al-Madi is a word that expresses an act that happened in the Madi. Does that make sense? Does it make sense to you? يعني basically الماضي technically is a word that expresses an act that happened in the ماضي linguistically. Get it? Meaning before the time of speech. الماضي. See? واضح؟ ضرب. An example. ضرب. ضرب means he hit. He hit. So this ضرب gives the meaning of an act, and this act took place in the past tense. That's all. Right? Okay. Then we move to al-mudari'. We move to al-mudari'. But the time of speech can be any time. Ustadh, could you clarify? Yeah, of course. When you're analyzing a sentence, okay, that's going to be how you decide what is past and what is present and what is future. Okay? Because here you're analyzing the word when it is when it is spoken, or when you are preparing it for being used in a sentence, okay, based upon who speaks it and when, that you calculate the time according to that. So the time here in Arabic sciences is calculated according to the speech. واضح? Clear? Am I clear? And let's say you read, for example, in the Quran, خلق الله السماوات والأرض. خلق الله السماوات والأرض. Okay? So here we calculate the time. Here, خلق is past. According to the speech, it is past. واضح? واضح? So this happened in the past. واضح? Before this speech, which is Allah saying خلق الله السماوات والأرض, the heavens and the earth were created. So the speech is happening in the present. The speech is happening in the present? What do you mean? Maybe I didn't understand your question. Whatever is being told is in the present. No, don't calculate it that way. Okay? That's not how you calculated from the speech itself. The speech itself. Okay? This act, it either happens before speech, or at the time of speech, or in what? After the speech. After the speech. Okay? So you calculate it according to the speech. واضح بارك الله فيك. Yeah, the speech itself is said in the past. The speech itself is said in the past, correct? Okay? But now we are studying, we are getting to know the time frame of the word khalaqa. Okay? Of the word khalaqa. Now, when we say khalaqa gives an act and a time frame, which is the past, we're saying past according to what? According to what? We said past according to what? No, according to the speech. Get it? Get it? According to that speech, okay, the past is before that speech. Okay? تفضلي. when you say, Abu Zayd, when you say آكل, it means I eat. Okay? So the present here is the time you said it. واضح? The time you said that. That's what it means. واضح بارك الله فيك. طيب. Now let's go to المضارع. المضارع, a word that expresses an act that is happening in the present, meaning at the time of speech. Now, don't say, they fall into this, the students. When we ask them, sometimes when we ask them what is the types of af'al, they say madi, then they say hal. They fall into this mistake. They call the mudari al-hal. Okay? No, we say al-hal is the name of the time, not the verb. The verb is named mudari'. Get it? The verb's name is al-mudari'. But the time which al-mudari' gives is al-hal. Okay? As I said before, as I explained before, there's a certain verb which points out a meaning plus al-hal, which is the present time. Okay? So al-mudari' basically, al-mudari' technically is a word that expresses an act that is happening in the hal, linguistically. In the hal. Yani in what we called al-hal. In what we called al-hal. واضح بارك الله فيكم. This is al-mudari'. Okay? يضرب, the example of it. يضرب. Meaning he is hitting. Okay? So it pointed out an action plus a certain time frame, which is what is it called in Arabic? In Arabic. What is it called in Arabic? Good. Al-hal. Good. Very good. Al-hal. Okay? Pay attention, brothers and sisters. Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. Al-amr linguistically means the order, the command. But here it has a technical meaning. It doesn't, it's not given its linguistic meaning. Yes, أتسمع. طيب, al-amru. A word that expresses a command to do something in the future. Okay? In the future. What is the future named in Arabic? What is the future named in Arabic? Very good. Mustaqbal. So it is a word that expresses a command to do something in al-mustaqbal. In the mustaqbal. In al-mustaqbal. Which is what? Which is the future. واضح بارك الله فيكم. The example to that is اضرب. واضح, meaning you hit. يعني hit. A command as in hit. Okay? A command hit. And a command hit is a request that this action is to be done when? When? A command in the future. واضح? المستقبل. واضح? And when you say bring me that. So you're asking that this act is done in al-mustaqbal. Good? Clear? واضح? Comprende? Future tense is not only amr site. Future tense is not only, no, we're talking about originally, barakallahu feek. We're talking originally, by default. Understand? Yes. Here you're going, yes, you might tell me, yes, but also the madi could be used sometime to indicate the future. No, we're telling you, yes, that could happen, but that is in exceptional cases, not by default. Okay? But here we are talking about the original duty of a word. The original duty of the verb, of the madi, is to give the past tense. Clear? Is that clear? طيب. If that's what you mean, of course. Yes, those verbs sometimes could change. Could sometimes other verbs could be used for other time frames. But this you learn in balagha. Okay? This is using different styles of speech. Okay? Or not, using the speech for other than the meaning it was placed for. That's something else. But by now we are speaking, when we give you those those principles are the default duty of a word. Clear? نعم. طيب. الميزان الصرفي. If you want to say I will eat, this is not an amr. Okay, good. I will eat يعني سآكل. Here this is not an amr. Okay? Why? Because there are two words. Two words. Sa and akulu. Okay? Now akulu alone, is it amr or mudari'? Akulu, just akulu alone. Is it amr or mudari'? It is mudari'. Okay? But when we added the seen to it, we changed, or we specified the time frame to the what? To the future. Okay? Yani what specified the future time? Akulu or the seen that was added to akulu? The seen. Good? So technically, akulu is called mudara. It's not called amr. Okay? But the meaning of the seen when combined with akulu, here we don't say amr, we say this is specifying this action to be happened in the future. واضح بارك الله فيك. Yes, seen is a harf, yes. Okay, yes. Clear? Brother, is it clear? I hope it's clear, brother. طيب. Here الميزان الصرفي okay, somewhat, okay. Okay. See here. Here okay, let me explain something. Just a little, inshallah. Here al-mudari', there are two opinions. Okay? Just to clarify that point to you, brother, that there are two opinions al-mudari'. The common definition to al-mudari' is a word which expresses an act which could happen in the present or in the future. Okay? This is not the definition we chose. The definition we chose, which is the stronger definition, is that al-mudari' is a word expressing an act which is happening in the present. Okay? Now, according to the scholars who have defined al-mudari' to possibly give one of two time frames, okay, they said none, or what pinpoints a certain time frame depends upon what words are used with it. Okay, so if you use the seen, for example, the seen like sa, with a word which is mudari', okay, here you're pinpointing which time frame. If you say sa'akulu, sa'adribu, sa'ashrabu, here you're pinpointing which time frame? The future. واضح بارك الله فيك. I hope this makes it clear. يعني even without that other opinion, okay, we say in general, yes, sometimes when a word is attached to a verb, it changes its time frame. It changes its time frame. And sometimes when a word is used in a certain sequence, you understand from it other than the time frame it is originally used for. And I'll give you an example. Okay? I'll give you an example. Okay? Allah said in the Quran, in the beginning of Surah Al-Nahl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَتَى أَمْرُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُوهُ. أَتَى. By the way, this is a side benefit. So, yani, whoever wants to just focus on Sarf, yani, it doesn't harm you if you don't know this. But it's a beneficial point. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Nahl, which is Surah number 16, verse number 1, أَتَى أَمْرُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُوهُ. Okay? Now, أَتَى, what does it mean? It means it has come. It has come. أتى, يعني the word by itself. أتى, ماضي. ماضي. أتى is a ماضي. Okay. What does this ماضي mean? This ماضي means it has come. أتى means it has come. Or he has come. Okay. Here it says أتى أمر الله. يعني the commandment, يعني the last hour, okay, has come. Now I'll ask you, brothers and sisters, did the last hour come? Huh? The last hour, day of judgment, did it come yet? No, not yet. So here, al-madi, was it used for the default time it is used for? Huh? So this is an exception. Yani now the madi here in this sequence, what did it give? Did it give the past tense or the future tense? Huh? It gave the future tense. Ata amrullah, it means the last hour will come. Will come. Now, you might, of course you're asking, then if it will come, why didn't Allah use, for example, the mudari'? Why did he use the madi? Why did he use the madi? Okay? This, يعني, is يعني, this is يعني a research or a topic searched and discussed in the eloquence of speech. Why are sometimes words used for other than their original meanings they are upon? Why? Here, this is explained by a question, which I will ask you. Now, what is more powerful? The belief, your belief in something which has happened and you have witnessed in front of you, or something that will happen in the future? Yani, let me give you an example. Someone came to you and said, an accident happened yesterday, and you saw that accident. Now, how strong is your belief that that accident happened? How strong is it? Huh? As strong as it can be. Okay? But if it is said to you that the boss will come tomorrow, or the manager will come tomorrow, or we will have a class tomorrow, inshallah. Okay? Your belief that that thing will happen, is it the same? It's uncertain. Good. So it's not strong. Because you believe that it might happen, it might not happen. واضح? I might die, or you might die. واضح? Or something might happen that we won't, there won't be a class. Okay? Clear? Now, because Allah wants you to believe in the last hour as strong as your belief in something that has happened and is over and you have witnessed with your own eyes, Allah used the Madi instead. Understand? Again? Understand? Barakallahu feekum? Because Allah wants you to believe in the last hour just as if it happened in front of your eyes, Allah used the Madi. The Madi. And it's just like something that already happened in the past. Yani basically Allah is saying, believe in the last hour just as strong as you have believed that something happened in the believed in something happening in the past which you have witnessed. Understood? Yes. Okay. No. But here, barakallahu feek. Now I'm starting to understand your question better. Here you mean, okay, you mean سأضرب, for example. Why didn't we say it is an amr, since it is an action which will happen in the future? We said we were very careful with the words. See, we said a command. Now سأضرب, is it a command? It's not a command. واضح? So al-amr is a command, not just an act happening in the future. No, it is a command. So I think that removes your confusion, inshallah. I hope this removes your confusion. Okay? So basically what we're trying to say is, if it is a command, then it is an amr. Okay? But if it wasn't a command and it gave the future tense, then this is a mudari' which has some words added to it, like the scene, for example. Yes, here it would be mudari'. واضح? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, barakallahu feek. Alhamdulillah. But the amr is in hal, Ustadh. The amr itself, of course, the command itself is in the time of speech, yes, but the command here, we want to know the hadath. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah wa iyyak. The hadath, when will it happen? When will it happen? This is the most important thing. واضح? Okay, how many time do we have? It's been an hour and a half right now. Was it an hour and a half? Okay, so we have 30 more minutes, inshallah. Or even more if we need. Now, al-mizan al-sarfi. Al-mizan al-sarfi. Now, to study the form of a word. Now, we know that sarf is what again? Sarf is changing the source into different forms in order to express meanings, or different meanings that aren't expressed except through their own forms. Try to always read this, again and again and again. Sarf is changing, the source into different forms in order to express different meanings that aren't expressed except through their own forms. Okay, try to get used to that, okay? Now, those forms which you want to produce, or those forms which you want to make up, those forms, we want to teach you how to, how to make up those forms, how to build those forms, okay? So in order to do that, in order to study, for you to study those forms, you have to, have a certain way to know the pattern of those forms, the pattern that each form follows. And this is done by what is called al-mizan al-sarfi. Al-mizan al-sarfi. Al-mizan al-sarfi. Al-mizan al-sarfi. That's it. Al-mizan. Don't say al-mizan. Don't say al-mizan. Al-mizan. Al-mizan as-sarfi. Okay? To study the form of a word, the scholars of Sarf came up with something called al-mizan as-sarfi, which means in English the morphological scale. Yani the scale of Sarf. The morphological scale. Okay? It is the scale used to study the forms of the words before putting them into a sentence. It briefly differentiates between the original letter and the extra letter. Remember that we told you before that that there are original letters, which are root letters, and there are extra letters, which are letters added in order to change the meanings. Okay? And in order to change the forms, thus the meanings. Okay? Now, how to know يعني what is, or how to know what is the original letter from the extra letter. This is the way to know it. Okay, it is this scale, which you will know inshallah what the scale is all about. Okay, so it briefly differentiates between the original letter and the extra letter in most words, and allows the student to know the original place of the letter in the scale. So there are two things to benefit from the scale, is knowing, differentiating between the original and extra letter. Okay, this is most important. And number two is knowing the original place of the letter in the word. Okay, because sometimes letters are changed from one place to another. Yes, of course, it helps you to know all words. It helps you to know all forms which words follow. All pattern of forms which words follow. واضح؟ نعم تفضلي. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Now the scale consists of three letters. Fa, Ain, Lam. This is what the scale is, basically. The scale is three letters. Okay? The scale is three letters. Okay? This is the scale. Okay? It's like a scale, normal scale that you weigh things with, right? But here we weigh the word this way. This is how we get to weigh the word. Okay? And why do we weigh the word again? I repeat again, to differentiate between the extra letters and the original letters. Okay? And to know the original place of the letters. So two purposes here. Two main purposes. واضح? And basically this takes you to knowing the pattern of forms, the pattern which certain forms follow. Okay, why were these letters chosen specifically? Here there are two questions. Why are those letters, why three letters? This is number one. And why those letters in particular? I don't want to confuse others, but I want to ask something, inshallah, Ustadh. Is it true that there is a difference of opinion about whether the masdar is to be used as the base or starting point about? Yes, there is. Yes. Some say it is the madi. Some say it is the masdar. Okay? And the strongest saying, inshallah, is the masdar. واضح? No. Now, why were these letters chosen specifically? Yani why the fa and the ayn and the lam? You will learn, inshallah, how this is going to be your scale. Yani you will learn the process of weighing words shortly, inshallah, or in the coming class. Okay? Now, first of all, we need to know why three letters. Secondly, we need to know why the fa and the ayn and the lam in particular. Why? How come those letters? Why couldn't it be another letter? I like, for example, you might say, I like al-hamza and the ba and the ta. I don't want to use the fa and the ayn and the lam. I don't like those letters. I want to use those letters. No, there's a reason. There's a reason why they chose those letters in particular. Okay? So here's not yani according to whims and desires. No, here there's a reason why they did that, why they chose those letters in particular. Okay? Now first we need to understand why the three letters are used. Now remember what we told you a while ago. We told you that the major principle according to the Arabs is what? What's the major principle? The mother principle, according to the Arabs, what is it? Alaikum salam. Uh, Very good, mashallah. Likeness in speech. Likeness in speech. Good. And lightness in speech, one of the meanings of lightness in speech, or one of the يعني, things that this يعني, principle will lead to is having the words which are less in number of letters use more than the words which are more, which have more. واضح بارك الله فيكم واضح. So as I said before, I'll repeat, if there is a three-letter verb, or يعني, if there are three-letter verbs and four-letter verbs, what is going to be used mostly? What's going to be used mostly are the three-letter verbs or the three-letter words in general. Why? Because it's lighter in speech. Okay, that's why if you look to the dictionary, barakallahu fikum, if you count all the words from the beginning of the dictionary to the end, you will find that the three-letter words are more, and that the four are less when compared to the three, and that the five are less when compared to the four, and so on. واضح barakallahu fikum. Okay, are they two-letter verbs, Ustadh? No. Originally, no. Okay, originally, no. Because the least, this is the principle, the least a verb and or noun is upon, the least number of letters the verb or the noun is upon is three. واضح barakallahu فيك. That's the least. The least. واضح? So it's either three or it's not a verb. It's either three at least or it's not a verb. واضح barakallahu فيك. نعم. نعم. Okay, so those are three, the least of three. Okay, now because three is the mostly used, okay, we're gonna follow in our scale what is mostly used. Simple, makes sense? And among them, fa'ala was most commonly. We'll get to fa'ala. We'll get to fa'ala. Now we're explaining why it's three. Then inshallah we will explain why it's fa and the ain of the nam. Okay, now do you understand why it's three in the beginning before we move to that point? Now why is it three? Because most words are three, due to the three-letter words being lighter in speech, and they are mostly used. So this is a principle itself. Principles are basically what is mostly used, by the way, yani. And all those principles that are going to be mentioned to you, whether in Sarf or in any other science, principles is what is mostly or what is usually or what is commonly followed. This is what makes a principle, something that is usually followed, something that is commonly done, something that is usually how it is. That is what we make into a principle. Okay, so for example, even in daily life, okay, if you say if the car, if the Jeep is here, if the black Jeep is here, that means the manager is here. Okay, now when this happens commonly, okay, and it is very rare that that car is there and the manager isn't, so you can turn it into the principle and say it, and say what, and say whenever the black Jeep is there, the manager is there. Okay, same thing is followed here. Same thing here. Whatever happens frequently and more often, okay, and usually follows that pattern, one pattern, this is turned into a principle. واضح بارك الله فيك. Okay, now here we understand now why three. Why three? Now let's get to the issue of why the fa and the ain and the lam in particular. Okay. Why were these letters chosen specifically? Why? Because first of all, we have to understand that here in Sarf, what is the definition of Sarf again? Please? Huh? What is the definition of Sarf again? Huh? It is the changing of the source into different what? Into different forms, right? So here in the knowledge of Sarf, okay, we are dealing with words which change the most. Okay? Which change. Sorry. Words which change. واضح? Words which change. Okay. Now, the words which usually change, which mostly are subjected to changing, are exposed to changing, are the verbs. Okay? Are the verbs. Good? Okay. And the words that usually don't change are the nouns. You can write this, inshallah, if you need it. Okay? So, words which usually change are the verbs. Words which usually don't change into different forms, yani, are the nouns. Yani, the verb, when compared to the noun, it changes more than the noun. And the noun, when compared to the verb, it changes less. واضح? So, the thing which usually changes into different forms is what? Is the verb. واضح? Clear? Good. Okay. Now, since the thing that changes the most is the verbs, that is why in the first levels, you are taught verbs. ضرب, يضرب, اضرب, etc. يضربان, يضربون, تضربان, ضربتا, ضربا. All of these are verbs. So this is what you're usually taught in the beginner's level. Okay? Now, once you master, let me let you in on a secret, inshallah. Which is not a secret, but because many people don't know it, it's just like a secret. Now, once you master how the verb changes, everything else will be easy. Why? Because the verbs are the words which change the most. And if you master the thing which changes the most and how it changes, it'll be easy for you to change anything else. Get understood? Once you, okay, master changing what usually changes, it'll be easy for you. It'll be very easy for you to change anything else. Okay, this is according, of course, we're speaking in the Arabic language, the Arabic words. واضح? Clear? So here, let your center of attention be the verbs first and how they change. Once you get that right, everything else will be easy. All the nouns which you will learn in the future will be very easy. Good? Now, how is this relevant to our question, which is why the fa and the ain and the lam? Okay? Now, because verbs are the center of study, especially in the beginner levels, okay? And there is a word which could express any verb. It could be used as an alternative to any act, any verb, is the word fa'ala. Is the word fa'ala. Fa'ala. Why? Because fa'ala means I did. Fa'ala means did. And that can be an alternative for any other verb. That is any verb that is asked for can have fa'ala as a reply. For example, if someone said, did you eat? You can say, I ate, and you can say, I did. And if someone asks you, did you drink? You can say, I drank, and you can say, I did. And if someone said, did you write? You can say, I wrote, and you can say, I did. واضح? So did was an answer to each and every question regarding an act. Did in the Arabic language is fa'ala. Fa'ala. Okay? So if someone asked you in Arabic, هل أكلت? Yani, did you eat? You can say in reply, أكلت, but you can say instead فعلت. فعلت. Okay? Or, Did you say, يعني if you say in Arabic, for example, did Zayd, يعني ضرب, did he hit? Okay, you can say in reply as an answer نعم ضرب, or you can say نعم فعل instead of ضرب. So basically فعل could be an alternative to any other verb. Okay, so basically فعل represents all verbs. Get it? فعل represents all verbs. And since verbs are the things that change the most, and since فعل represents all verbs, it was made the scale. Understood? It was made the scale. Understood? Because it represents all verbs. واضح? Clear? Positive? 100%? ها طيب. طيب. So why does the scale consist of 3 letters originally? The scale consists of 3 letters because most of the words in the Arabic language consist of 3 letters, and the least you can find an ism or fi'l on is 3 letters. Right. Let's go to putting the words in scale. This is here, the fun part, how to do it. Okay, how to work it on the scale. Okay, now the scale itself is called al-wazn. Al-wazn. I think I need to, what page is this now? This is page number what? Page number 14. 14. I think we should stop here. What do you think? It's too much information. Although it's revision, but so we continue or we stop? Because we have 13 minutes left. A bit more? Okay, pay attention. The scale. The scale itself is called al-wazn. The scale. The scale is called al-wazn. Tomorrow. It's for 10 days straight. For 10 days straight and 2 hours every day. واضح? نعم. So the scale itself is called al-wazn. Al-wazn. Al-wazn is the scale. And the word that is weighed is called mawzoon. Mawzoon. Okay? So we have something called wazn and something called mawzoon. Something called wazn and something called mawzoon. Yes. Wazn, mawzoon. Wazn, mawzoon. Wazn, mawzoon. What is wazn? The wazn is the scale. What is the mawzoon? It is the thing weighed. The thing weighed. واضح? You need the thing which you put on the scale. Good? So there's a scale and the thing which you weigh, which you place on the scale. The scale is called wazn, and the thing that you put on the scale is called mawzoon. Yes, anything weighed is mawzoon. Okay? Now linguistically, al-mawzoon refers to anything that is weighed. But in the science of sarf, it is used, the word. Anything weighed, in example, the word here. Here, the thing weighed is going to be the word. Yes, no doubt. Now, here it says, see? It says refers to anything that is weighed, but in the science of sarf, it is used specifically to describe the word that is weighed. So here we're speaking about the word which is weighed. When weighing a 3-letter word, we place the letter along with their harakat parallel to the fa, ayn, and lam. Now again, we place the letters along with their harakat parallel to the fa, ayn, and lam. Like this. This is how it is. See? ضرب. ضرب. Okay? See, here, ضرب consists of how many letters? How many letters? 3. Okay? 3. And the scale consists of how many letters? How many? 3. Also 3. So here, okay, is it going to be even? Is it going to be even here? It's even. So each letter will go, each letter in the word will be placed over each letter from the scale. Okay? So let's say for daraba as an example. So we're going to bring the dad, which is the first letter, and we're going to place it on the fa, right? And then we're going to bring the ra, which is the second letter, and we're going to place it on the second letter in the scale, which is what? Which is the ayn. Okay? And then we're going to go to the third letter, which is the ba in the word, and we're going to place it on the third letter in the scale, which is what? Which is the lam. واضح? Clear? Okay? All right. Now, pay attention. The letters in the scale will take the same harakat as in the word being weighed, and vice versa. Okay? So basically, the basically the scale is going to be like a mirror to the word weight. Okay, but it's a mirror that shows it's like that shows the word without flesh, without any flesh, for example, just a skeleton. فاعلة, it's a skeleton. Okay, واضح? So you're going to give it the same harakat. Yani, the same harakat that you give the first letter, you give it to the fa as well. Here, yani, for example, going back here, see. Da, ra, ba. What's the harakat of the dad? The fatha. Okay. Yes, like dressing, yes. So here, you're going to treat the scale just like it's a mirror. So you're going to give the same haraka you will find. تفضلي وعليكم السلام. The same haraka you will find where? The same haraka on the dad will be reflected on the fa. واضح? And the same haraka on the ra, which is the second letter in the word weight, will be reflected on the ain, which is the second letter in the scale. Okay? نعم. نعم at establishing. The letter, the haraka on the third letter in the word will reflect on the third letter in the scale, and so on. So if it's a fatha, you'll find a fatha here. If it's a fatha here, you'll find a fatha here. If it's a dhamma here, you'll find the dhamma here. If it's a kasra here, you'll find the kasra here, and so on. واضح? Clear? Good? Good. طيب. This is another point. Okay? Each letter of the original three-letter word corresponds to one of the three letters in the scale. Okay. The first letter of the original three-letter word is called Fa'ul Kalima. The first letter of the original three-letter word. Yani in example, daraba. Daraba. The first letter, what is it? The dad. Okay? Now the dad. It is going to be parallel. طيب وإياك. It is going to be parallel to which letter in the scale? We're ending soon anyways. To the fa. So since it is parallel to the fa, then it is called the fa of the word. And in Arabic we say fa'ul kalima. Fa'ul kalima. Fa'ul kalima means the fa of the word. Okay? Because it is placed in the scale over the fa. The second letter of the original three-letter word is called the ainul kalima. The second letter here is what? Here in daraba. What's the second letter? It is the Ra. The Ra is placed parallel to the what? To the Ain. So here the Ra is given the name of the letter reflecting it, which is the Ain. So the Ra here is called the Ain. The Ain of the word is the Ra. So we call it Ainul Kalima. The Ra is Ainul Kalima. واضح? Clear? نعم. Why? Because it is placed in the scale over the Ain. Okay. And the third letter of the original three-letter word is called the Lamul Kalima. Lamul Kalima. The Lam of the word. Because it is placed in the scale over the Lam. نعم خير إن شاء الله. No problem. لا بأس. Now this is the case for the original letters of any three-letter verb. Okay? Yeah, here, see, it says in the footnote, here in level 1 we talk only about the verbs. Okay? Now, is this understood? Is this understood? Is this understood, brothers and sisters? See here, when we put the three-letter madi, daraba, hit, in the scale, we say daraba, how to weigh it, yani. How to weigh it? We say daraba ala wazni fa'ala. Meaning, daraba, the word daraba, is on the scale, wazni, wazn, ala means on, wazn means scale, fa'ala, the word fa'ala. So we say daraba is on the scale of fa'ala. That's in English. In Arabic, how do we say it? Daraba ala wazni fa'ala. Daraba ala wazni fa'ala. Okay? Okay. Now, what about alima? Alima. See. Now, what are we going to put on the fa? What's going to go on the fa? This word. Let's say we have this word now, alima. Okay? Alima. Okay? Now, what's going to go on the first letter? What's going to go on the first letter? From the word alima. Yani, let's say we have alima instead of daraba. Instead of daraba, we have alima, right? Here, we have alima instead of daraba, right? Now, here, what are we're going to place on the fa? Which letter? The ain. See, alima. Let's bring it here. Okay? Let me just, try to erase this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and I'm going to bring daraba. I'm going to bring alima instead. Okay, alima. All right, alima. Let me just give it a tashkil, give it the harakat, I mean. Okay, alima. Okay. Now, what letter are we going to place on the fa? The ain, the first one. Because the first one finds the first place, which is the fa. Okay? Alima. Okay? Let me just bring it closer. And give it some spaces so every letter could, be over. There we go. There we go. Okay? So this is basically how to do it. Okay? So the ain fell on the fa, and the lam fell on the ain, and the mim fell on the lam. Okay? Now, the ain, what do we call it since it's on the fa? What do you say we call it? Since it's on the fa, since it's parallel to the fa, what do we call it? We call it fa'ul kalima, the fa of the word. You can say in the beginning until you get used to it. You can say the fa of the word. You can say in English, no problem. Okay? And the second one, okay, never mind. The fa of the word, what haraka did it have in the word weighed? Or does it have in the word weighed? Fatha. So what do? This fatha, we will find and we will place in the scale. Okay? The lam, where does it go? It goes on the second letter in the scale, which is what? Which is the ayn. Which is the ayn. Okay? But this lam here, what does it have as a haraka? It has a kasra. So here in the ayn, we're not going to put a fatha anymore. We're going to put a kasra. Okay? We're going to put a kasra. Okay? Okay. And the meme, a fatha. Okay? Now, how do we say it here? Do we say like daraba? Do we say يعني alima is on the scale of fa'ala? No. Yani it's going to sound exactly the same vowels used. So we're going to say alima is on the scale of fa'ila. Alima fa'ila. Alima fa'ila. Alima fa'ila. Okay? Now, the middle letter, it could have a dhamma instead of a kasra. Instead of a dhamma, instead of a kasra, it could have a dhamma. Like the case of hasuna. Hasuna means was pleasant. Hasuna. Hasuna. Hasu. See, we didn't say hasana. Neither did we say hasina. Rather, we said hasuna. So in the scale, we say hasuna is on the scale of what? Fa. Huh? Come on, brothers and sisters. Fa'ula. Fa'ula. So hasuna is on the scale of fa'ula. Hasuna ala wazni fa'ula. حسن على وزن فعل. لدي طالب طلب أن يسأل من أنت. I didn't والله ما فهمت السؤال. I did not understand your question. واضح, and that's inshallah the end of today. Inshallah, any questions? Any questions in the last 2 minutes? Last 2 minutes inshallah for any questions that you may have. السلام عليكم احترام المعلم. أي كتاب التوحيد الانطلاق. نحن نعمل على الكتب الدراسية مع قواعد العربية. أرجو من موافقتك لنا حتى يمكن أن نبدأ معها إن شاء الله. موافقة على إيش؟ ها؟ وإياكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن شاء الله راسلوني. Write me a message إن شاء الله explaining what you are asking, because I can't لا أفهم سؤالكم. طيب, this at establishing. Can I ask clarification about something there in class and it will be break my head without understanding? Go ahead. Let me save your head from being broken. Inshallah. Huh. But you have to do it quickly because we only have 1 minute left. Yalla. I think I will ask in the form. Yes, okay, no problem. If you ask in the form, inshallah, we'll be able to receive an answer, inshallah. Khair, inshallah, no problem, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. So anyone have any questions, questions that it was not able to ask, then inshallah, go ahead inshallah and ask in the form. So if we say tadribu, for example, using the mudari' here, there is an extra letter in ya, but do we still say that this fi'l is mujarrad because it's taken from daraba? No, it's mazid. Whenever it has an extra letter, it's called mazid. Regardless what it's taken from. If it's taken from mujarrad, no. بحرفين. لا هنا يعني مزيد